So that leads us to the Penguin season finale, episode 8, Great or Little Thing. So I'm gonna start off with some nitpicks,
Okay.
and as well as somewhat of my overall thought. The first half of this episode, and I'm talking from beginning through the mother-son therapy session, tied to chairs, held hostage by a psychopath. That one by Sofia. Brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Fully engrossed, fully engaged, loved it. Edge of my seat. After we get out of that scene, though, I'm not gonna lie, my mind starts to think. And suddenly I am more thinking about, okay, well, that happened, so that means this will happen, so that means that. And why is it taking so long for this show to end, or this episode to end? And I don't know. Don't get me wrong, I loved it. It's a great piece of television, very strong ending. I just get a little annoyed with all that. Oh my God, it was so shocking. Was it? Was it? Were you paying attention? They told you exactly what was going to happen about halfway through the episode, okay?
Yeah.
So, and then the fact that, oh, it was so shocking when Vic died. Was it? Because for some reason, as soon as Vic said, "You're my family," I was like, bye-bye. You're gonna die.
Same.
I
Yeah.
was not shocked. And also, I know we've talked about this. Will is very well aware that I'm dead inside. So do I hate Penguin? No, I don't hate him, because I've also never really I don't say throughout this season, it's not that I'm rooting for the Penguin though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just watching a story unfold. I'm not I'm technically not rooting for anyone.
No, not at all. Not at
Yeah,
all.
I'm just like living in this world, being told this story. Like I just sometimes I question, like, are we watching the same thing? You know, and I think that's why sometimes I come off a bit more negative about things. It's just because I'm like, okay, I'm tired of hearing people say this because I don't think it's 100% true. But I will say that by him killing Vic, it proved, okay, without a doubt, this was not the Gotham version of Breaking Bad. No, because Walt never killed Jess. Okay, no.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, this is not what that is. This is Sopranos. This is a mobster. This is Godfather. Okay, this is Yabushige in Gotham. Okay, I don't care. But all right, well, your thoughts.
Yeah. I completely. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I agree with what you said. I mean, even Sunday night after we were messaging after the show was over, and I agree. I was like, I saw Vic's death coming.
Mm-hmm.
What worked for me, it was the shock of it wasn't so much that he killed Vic. I think it was just the way it was so well executed that I was just like, I knew it was coming. But even when it happened, and the look on that Colin Farrell, that Oz had on his face after it was done, that just I don't know. It was like, I don't even know what adjective to describe it, but it was just, if you've watched the episode, you know what I'm talking about. And that was like, I was like, holy fuck, he did this to Vic. And I guess for me, I mean, like, as I was joking at the beginning of the episode, I was like, yeah, I see Bryce Junkin's like Vic now. But seriously though, I think what this series did was, because of all these characters that, and as you noted, there were no heroes in this show.
No.
And anyone who would like thought of Oz or Sofia as anti-hero or anything like that. No, she's a psychopath. He's a sociopath. I mean, and they'll kill you for, again, like, because whenever he killed Vic, it was just like you said it. I mean, he when Vic said he was family, Penguin saw that as a weakness, and that was like, I got to take him out. And then the other thing too that was really, I thought back on the series, and like, as Vic was looked up to Oz as a mentor, and
Yep.
Oz, took him under his wing. And then he took the thing that reminded me, the thing that like stood out to me with that scene, I think that really like just sealed it for me, was when he took the ID card out and threw it into the river.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought back to the line where they were like, when Oz and Vic were talking, and they were going to be talking about our names forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just, but because he saw Vic as a liability, he just threw him away,
Mm-hmm.
just like he did that card. And that just really captures who this man is. And that, well, many things captured it, but that was just like symbolically at the end there. That just still, just reminded us who this man is. So, yeah, I agree with you. It was not a shock. It would have been a shock if he actually lived, to be honest, given what we have built up to what we've seen over the last 8 episodes with this character.
Right. So I will be honest, I did watch the episode, but I don't remember Penguin's face the way you did.
Yeah.
I don't. But I think that the standout moment of Colin's performance in this episode was not that scene, but it was the scene when Sofia reveals that his mom has known all along that he killed his brothers.
Yeah.
And why that moment was just because he just was staring. And I immediately thought to myself, see, this is why this is such a good performance. I don't know who's a better actor, Penguin or Colin Farrell. The commitment to the lie is making me now doubt, well, was it a lie? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have the best, like, did that happen? We're told things happen, but sometimes you can have an unreliable narrator. So what, like, were we shown that from her perspective? Like, what is going on here? And it's like, for those moments, for some reason, that's the face that stuck to me the most, and showed that character how it is. Maybe during, I was like, oh, he's strangling him, and I got up or something. I don't think I got up, but I
understand. Yeah, I know. No, but you're right. I mean, that was another one. I mean, there's just so many, like, I mean, throughout this whole season, there's been so many moments like that where it's like, yeah.
And I think, like, really reflecting on this episode and this season, I think why the first half worked so much for me is because my love for the actress who plays Oz's mom, Frances.
Yeah.
Her performance, I mean, everyone's talking about Sofia. Everyone's talking about her. But Frances, and like, it was so good because and yeah, they were both, like, we observed the most bizarre torture scene ever to occur.
We did.
Where it's like a villain has your deepest, darkest secrets and are going to use them to turn the one you love against the most, and to unbury this, because it was such a good cold open to come off of last week's episode, and to suddenly start to get Frances's perspective on the aftermath of her 2 boys dying in the Gotham gutters, and the realization that her other son was the cause. And oh my God, kind of makes her illness, like, did that start because of this trauma? Because my God, that would train it. And then you have a great conversation with Rex. We can rule him out as being the father. He's always been a stand-in. And I like that moment. You brought it up before. Like Oz filled a father figure role for
Hmm.
Vic.
Hmm.
And Rex mentions that to Francis.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't want people who want power. And I think maybe that's also why that Oz knew if he continued to nurture um nurture Vic in a way, Vic will turn on him.
Yeah.
So it was like the vulnerability is one thing, but it's also like Vic and Lou got all of these lieutenants to turn on their bosses.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why would Oz be any different? Like if
Exactly.
things continue. So
Yeah.
so it was a very smart move in the
Hmm.
long run. But anyway, and you're explained that through this monologue of Rex about like how he gets his crew together, and it's that missing father. But in
Yeah.
Oz's case, like Francis can do that. And oh man, well, if you can't do it, then what if you just let him go?
Yeah.
Oh, because I don't have kids, and I also don't have psychopaths for kids. Not even Will can relate to this.
Nope, I can't.
But my God, the emotional turmoil to do that to a person, to be like, I just lost two kids
Hmm.
at the hands of one kid who loves me, but now I'm resentful for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
It's just, oh my God, I can't talk enough about this whole storyline
Yeah.
has been played out so fascinating, um and so well done, that I really liked how we saw so much from Francis's perspective. And
Hmm.
then probably why I think the second half of the episode is weaker is because she had a stroke and is a vegetable.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't know if it's weaker, but it definitely. I mean,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
I know
we've.
that's my opinion. So
Yeah, 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 and, yeah. The only place where I felt like it was for me where it felt weak was when Sophia started, burning down the house
yeah,
and that kind of stuff. That was the if I had a nitpick, I was kind of like, okay, here we
yeah.
go again.
Because
Um,
so like I'm sorry, I knew it was going to be a double cross.
yeah,
Like there's no way in hell. And then I never thought that he was going to kill, because he he told us what he was going to do with
yep,
Sophia when he was talking to the councilman.
yep,
Okay?
yep, yeah, exactly, yeah. That was not, yeah, that was like, that's because, again, and it's been a through line throughout this whole series how and you brought up the good point with like with Vic and Link, and why Oz killed Vic. I mean, the through line is, the upper class always underestimates us,
Hmm.
and ignores us. So, so him doing that, a crook knows a crook. So he was like, okay, let me find the crooked councilman I can use to leverage, to get to take Sophia off the board, and that's what he
Well,
did.
didn't we already meet this councilman? Like he already has stuff on him.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
now he's just like kind of continuing to crane
yeah,
that door open. And also, we've seen earlier in previous episodes how no matter the hand that is dealt, Oz takes a moment, reassesses,
hmm,
and changes the way to manipulate the situation in his favor. And that's what
always.
he did. He was given that amount of
Yep,
time to do that.
yep,
Um, and the moment he said like you're gonna find Sophia's car down there, I'm like, brilliant,
brilliant. Yep,
brilliant.
I did. Yeah, yeah. When it happened, and we drove her. We, had to driving her out there, taking her for a ride, and it's how it was. I did clap. I was like, even though, like you said, he told we were told that this was going to happen, but again, I think
Right.
what made it so effective was just the execution of it.
Right, right. And I can appreciate and understand how Sophia, it was clear to me Sophia didn't understand. Like,
Yeah,
to me,
yeah,
the biggest wink and nod was the moment he says, "You're going to hell, sweetheart."
yep,
Because death isn't hell for her. Death
nope,
would be freeing her. Hell
yep,
is putting her back. And so that leads me to something that I don't think enough people are talking about.
yeah,
Because people are so focused on the fact that Oz kills Vic, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And he kills Sal, and he
yeah,
kills his brothers. There's a
yeah,
trend here.
yeah,
He kills a lot of men.
mm-hmm, yep,
It's fascinating that the women who are perceivably closest to him, I'm talking Eve Carlo, I'm
yep,
talking his mom, I'm talking Sophia,
yep.
they don't die,
They don't die. That's a good.
but
Yep.
they do get punished.
Yeah.
Even Eve, because there's no way. She's repenting right now, and the moment I saw her, I was just like, oh my
Oh my God. Yeah.
Lord, Eve, I'm so sorry for you. And then it gets worse because then he he asks her to say things, and the moment he says, "Ma, you're proud," I'm like, oh, this is the
Oh
worst kind of role play ever.
yeah.
Oh, gross.
God.
But
Yeah. The Freudian things that are going on there. Yeah. We talked about that before, but
seriously, but it's also, and it's something like the complexity that they managed to develop for Oz,
Mhm.
um, over the course of these 8 episodes, it's just all encaptured for me. The moment we see his mom in the penthouse,
Mhm.
looking out over Gotham, unable to move, like clear vegetable, and he comes over. He says he's being very Oz. She can't say anything, she can't move. And it's like, and he says, this is exactly what you wanted, and kisses her on the cheek and
Yep.
goes. And all that plays in my mind is that scene early on where
Mhm.
she's like, if my mind goes before my body, you best put me down.
Yep.
Now, it's complex because on one hand, in that moment, you like the earlier scene, you view him as a son who loves his mom.
Mhm.
And he can't put her down because she's not a dog. I'll never forget that line.
Yep.
But simultaneously, you've just watched this man kill his apprentice. You've you've seen him burn people alive.
Mhm.
You've seen him do horrible shit
Yeah.
and kill his own brothers.
Yeah.
And also, you know, he knows she knew he killed his brothers, and on top of that, plotted to potentially kill him with
Yep.
Rex.
Mhm.
Punishment.
Yep.
You don't get to go until I say you can.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like,
Fucking classic
real.
narcissist. Yeah.
Oh, geez. Because they managed to show all the angles of that. And all can be true and all are true for
Mhm.
all.
Mhm.
Fascinating.
Totally fascinating. And you're so spot on. It's all about yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we watch so many paternal shows. This is a maternal show. It's just so, I mean, but at the same time, it's like, is it? Because
I don't know if
you
it
also
is.
have Sophia, who deals so much, has so much shit from her father. I
Right.
mean, the whole Hangman episode is
Yeah.
all about men suppressing women. So again, they're
Yeah.
able to view these kind of things through so many different angles that it's a very balanced show.
It is a balanced show. And like you said, if anybody was like rooting for this for Oz in this show, I mean, we're watching two different. You're watching something else, and you're not. You're missing the entire subtext, and sometimes subtext, and sometimes very very open things
Yeah.
that they, like you just what you just shared with Oz and his mom. That was going on in this show. I mean, there's just nothing likable or redeemable about this man at
Right.
all, at
And,
all.
and nor should there be.
Yeah.
But it's weird though, because like I just said, you're not a dog. I can't put you down. Like, you're my ma. Like, there are these moments of humanity that we have been privileged to see that I think is hard to reconcile with the monster. And I think the purpose is really to put us almost pretty much in Francis's shoes.
Yeah.
Being like, this is my son, and I see, like, he's my son. I see the good nature in him, but to reconcile that with all the bad stuff. And I don't know how you go into the finale rooting for Oz or liking Oz. He killed his brothers.
Yeah.
Like, how do you go from last week still on that train?
Yeah. Or maybe, I mean, maybe liking is too strong a word, but I mean, you just, but I mean, I think
like him.
Yeah.
But you also recognize him for what he is, because at the same time, you're also thinking underneath all that makeup and prosthetics, that's Colin freaking Farrell. Killing it.
Just killing it. Yeah. Give the man an Emmy already. I mean, it's just like, everybody, just about everyone in this show, we will see when Emmy nominations roll around, either lead actor, lead actress, supporting actor, supporting actress, because there were just some phenomenal performances that we were able to see with this series, and who knows? I mean, Colin Farrell has left open. I mean, we do know that this character will show up in Batman 2 and 3. He did confirm that, and they did leave open the door that they could possibly do a season 2 if the writing is there. I mean, especially if they bring Lauren LaFranc back. I mean, everybody talks about Matt Reeves. Lauren LaFranc was the showrunner for this show. Speaking of giving women credit, and she just killed it. I mean, it was just, let's give props where props is due. Yes, it's Matt Reeves' world, but he handed this world over to her, and she set up a formidable character for now. When we go to Batman 2 and 3, they've taken the Penguin, from the Burgess Meredith kind of, joke that we saw back in the 60s Batman with Adam West. And even Danny DeVito's and Batman Returns with Michael Keaton, how I look at that character now is completely different from how I look at the character going into this show, because of what they were able to achieve in this series. So that I can see why he is such a threat to Batman, legitimately a threat. And I think that goes to the credit of Matt Reeves, creating a more grounded world of Gotham and the character of Gotham. But Lauren LaFranc and the writing room with this series just took it to the next level.
And the directing.
Yeah.
I'm going through the 8 episodes and I'm looking at the directors, and it seems pretty balanced between male and female directors. Oddly enough, last week's episode was directed by a male. This week's episode was directed by a female.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty fancy, because I would have thought the opposite going into that. Saint Ani was directed by a female, but
just have to give credit to I guess I just want to give proper credit to the creative team, everyone involved, because they like, whenever we think it back to with both this show and even Agatha, we were like, were these spinoffs really spinoffs that we were needed or wanted or anything? Probably
absolutely not.
Yeah. But
I'm sorry, nobody came off of the Batman being like, oh, I hope there's a Penguin movie. I hope there's a Penguin TV show. And Penguin's hardly in the Batman, from what I remember.
Yeah, it's only a handful of scenes.
I know a lot of people are saying how this show has helped them gain newfound love for the Batman. Probably because now you can watch that, and like, the world feels bigger. Which is so funny, because we're talking about one character and just following that villain character.
Over the span of just a couple weeks in Gotham. or a few weeks
Yeah.
of Gotham. Yeah.
Yeah. I still think in a weird way, I kind of wish Agatha finale had still aired simultaneous with the Penguin, because I think the way they did that, because Agatha's finale shocked me. There were so many twists. There were so many things I was like, that was not on anyone's bingo card. Where did
Yeah.
that come from? But simultaneously made so much logical sense, where it was like they continue to be inverses of each other. It's
Mhm.
so bizarre. And I love that for not only us in our discussions, but also just for viewers who are engrossed in this kind of content in this genre, where you can have two shows that are similar yet very different, yet also are clearly doing what they do best and
Yeah.
working in all the right ways for very different reasons.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, we can go frame by frame with all of Francis' scenes, but I don't think anybody wants to listen to me do that. Unless there's anything I'm forgetting, I don't think there is.
No. I think we hit all the major strokes with the episode.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
That's kind of mean.
Gosh, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Wow.
Yeah, other than other than the Batman of it all, which I know we already talked about it. I mean, yeah, there was obligatory bat signal at the end. I was kind of like, yeah, okay.
No, I was too. I think the show did like the strengths were
Oh,
always when it did not feel like a Batman show, and then but you thought of something?
no, I mean nothing. It wasn't nothing really consequential. I mean, we talked about how Sophia ended up back in Arkham, and of course Julian is her, is her caretaker again. So I think I know I saw on your notes you just had something like, did he ever, when did he leave? And I was just I'm like, maybe he never actually left. Maybe that was just part of the thing
I honestly, the way he moved throughout the season, I wouldn't. You're probably right. But that was another thing. I didn't hear enough people talk about what we talked about, the fact that Sophia and Selena Kyle are related,
Yes.
and the nod that we got at the very end, I was like, again,
Mm-hmm.
knew it, called it.
Yep.
Like, great.
Yep.
Which
Yep.
But I had forgotten that there has been rumors and speculation about a Catwoman series. So we might be getting that, and that might be a tie-in there. I love how, even though this has ended, and I am on the side of, I don't need a season 2 of the Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
I don't either.
I really don't, and I think that would be a bad idea. But expanding this world, hell yeah. I mean, this is what Sony should have been doing decades ago with this. Like, this is what we mean by, like, villains can stand on their own.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't make them the good guys. I know it's difficult, but you really can't.
Yeah.
But you can definitely mine their stories because they are psychotic.
Exactly.
Oh man. Oh, it's been so much fun.
It has
But
been.
on
It has
that note, Will, why don't you tell our listeners where they can find you?
Yes, you can find me on X and Threads at Will M Polk, WILLMPOLK.
You can find me there too at SJ Belmont, SJBLMONT. Please follow our crew there at Scene and Nerd. Find us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and Threads at Scene_N_Nerd. And visit our website, www.sceneandnerdpodcast.com. But most importantly, rate, follow, comment, and on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Good night, Geek Out. You're welcome.